Welcome back to the channel. This is episode 4 of my 4-part series on using a side hustle like Uber Eats to help you retire much sooner. In this video, I'm going to be going over what times are the best to work when doing Uber Eats so that you can make the most money possible. You're watching More Money? Let's get it. Guys, welcome back and thanks so much for tuning in. You guys already know what it is. I'm Tay, a 20-year veteran of the investing game. You're watching the #1 channel on YouTube for people that want to retire early. Now, before I jump into it, guys, smash that like button. It really helps YouTube know that this channel provides valuable content and thus they'll share it with more people. And honestly, this has been a really great journey. We're only a couple months in and we're already at almost 600 subscribers. So it's been beyond humbling to see how many of you guys are liking the content on this channel. Now, as you guys know, in order to bring you this series, I went behind the scenes and actually became a part-time Uber Eats driver. I really think side hustles are a great way to retire much sooner, as you just have the ability to seriously increase your annual savings. Now guys, just remember, this is an investing in retirement channel, not a gigs channel. So if we're gonna do a gig, we have to have a plan to retire sooner. Your time doing this gig has to mean something. Now, allow me to summarize what I've covered in the other videos. From this chart, you can see that you're only 15 years away from $1 million. And that's with $0 to begin, only $2,200 a month in savings, and an 11.5% rate of return, which has been the long-term average return of the market. And this chart shows you how most of the increases that you'll see in your portfolio in the first 10 years will come from how much your savings each year as opposed to the earnings in your portfolio. In your first year, 96% of the growth in your portfolio is just from your savings deposits. 5 years in, although you're now starting to earn some returns from the previously invested cash, 71% of the annual growth in your portfolio is still from the savings deposits in that year. So guys, I've said this before in the previous videos of the series, but you are gonna get rich by controlling the one and most important thing that you can control, which is how much you save each and every year. So to start, we gotta determine what the average day on Uber Eats looks like. As you would guess, there are peak times which follow the natural eating times. Breakfast provides a pretty good morning surge. Lunch, as you would imagine, does get busy. And as you guys would imagine, dinner is the busiest time, which usually causes the app to surge red, which means that you get an extra few dollars for each delivery that you do. And it can honestly really add up. If you do about 5 deliveries per hour and you're doing them with a $3 surge per delivery, you're making as much as $15 extra per hour doing that surge. And so with that surge money, you can make between $40 and $50 per hour in that surge time frame, depending on what your tips are. So as you can imagine, the most important times to work are the times when the app is surging red. Now, you have a built-in challenge with Uber Eats. They will only allow you to be online on the app for a maximum of 12 hours a day. You must take a 6-hour break in between. For most people, that's more than enough, but there are those extremely hard workers out there who will try and work 15 hours a day or more. Because to be honest, it's a pretty easy gig. You just drive around and listen to your favorite podcasts. There are no deadlines, no meetings, no bosses, no projects, you just leisurely drive. And honestly guys, I found that at nighttime, when the roads are empty, it almost becomes therapeutic. So if you're looking to go full-time on Uber Eats, or maybe you have a few days off and want to maximize your earnings in that time period, you need to take this time constraint into consideration. So what are the peak earnings times? I already mentioned breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The natural eating times are pretty busy. One other time is super important, and that earning time is around 10 p.m. to around 4 a.m. There just seems to be fewer drivers on the road at that time, and so I tended to be getting a lot more orders, and people are tipping pretty well at that time as well. You know, personally, I just think Uber Eats drivers have lives, and so they really turn it in at around 10 p.m. So there's just fewer drivers on the road. I was easily earning around 25 to 30 bucks an hour, mostly just delivering pizza, Popeyes, and Subway. I was ignoring the McDonald's and A&W orders. And if you watched part 2 of this series, you already know why I always decline A&W and McDonald's orders. But to sum it up, it's just that there's long waits to get the food. My hourly earnings would decline significantly if I waited in those long drive-thrus to pick up the food for McDonald's and A&W orders. So now that you know what your workday looks like, I'll give you some tips to optimize your workday to make the most money in that 12 hours that you're allowed to be on that app. Now, before I get into those tips, guys, if you've received any value from this video thus far, please smash that like button. It really helps the channel. Also, a lot of you guys are talking about my stock analysis and how you guys made some money on the home builders. My next video will be about investing in Facebook's shares. Are the shares still cheap? Can we still make money on this stock? So look out for that video when it comes out by subscribing to the channel and ringing that notification bell to be notified when it's uploaded. Okay, so if I were to pick the time blocks to work in a day to maximize income, I'd rank the blocks of time like this. The #1 best time time to work and the time that you absolutely have to be on the road is between 5 p.m. and 10 p.m. This is your dinner rush. This is your bread and butter, guys. It is absolutely the best time to be on the road, and it's usually when the app is surging the most. Make sure that you're near restaurants, as you want to get the family type restaurant orders, because those have the chances of the highest amount of tip, as they're paying a lot more for their food in general. The second most valuable time block is your weekday lunch rush. A lot of people think that only the business districts are the key areas to success here. I would also recommend the industrial areas or even being near large airports. The important thing about being near the airport is that you have large industrial buildings around you, like Amazon. You also have large office buildings and you have hotels. You would be surprised at how many people in hotels order Uber Eats, and it absolutely makes sense that they would do so. That's a little pro tip that nobody really talks about on the internet, and it's only really a tip that you would learn if you actually did Uber Eats. And in order to give you guys these videos, I went out there and I did over 200 orders just to really understand how this stuff all works, so I can give you the best information possible. The third best time to be out is that post-dinner rush, especially on Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. And that post-dinner rush is from 10 p.m. to 4 in the morning. I honestly think that the overall volume of orders is low at this time, but I also think that there's fewer drivers on this road. So you just end up getting order after order after order, especially after midnight. It's hard to predict where the volume will be here, but stick to the most densely populated areas of your city. The fourth best time to be on Uber Eats is that weekday breakfast rush. People are ordering Uber Eats for breakfast even if they're working from home right now. But breakfast is a whole different game, guys. You need to be near bakeries and coffee shops, and you'll find it surprisingly busy. Also, tips are great with people in the morning for some reason, so make sure that you're as pleasant as possible to ensure that they have the best day possible, and you'll probably get that reflected in your tips. All other times are slower, so I would recommend turning the app off at these times if you're looking to optimize your 12 hours for that day. So of course, take these recommendations with a grain of salt. Your specific location and neighborhood could be completely different, so just keep that in mind. The best advice any YouTuber can give you is learn your home locations. If I was really trying to maximize what I got out of a 12-hour shift, I'd work the 2 hours between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. to capture that lunch hour surge, then 10 hours between 5 p.m. and 3 a.m. I would expect to earn an average of $25 to $30 an hour in gross income, and $20 to $25 an hour on a net income basis in that time period. Guys, that's it for this series. I had a ton of fun making it. I really hope you appreciate the video. I'm already hearing and seeing in my comments that I've helped and motivated some people, which is all that I really hope that I could do with something like this. If you missed any of the episodes, I've linked the playlist right over here. Thank you very much, guys, and I'll see you later.